10 mind-boggling gravity-defying structures. Have you ever looked at a building and wondered, how is that even standing? Some buildings seem to ignore gravity completely. Massive concrete blocks hang in midair, giant cubes tilt at impossible angles, and entire forests grow hundreds of feet above the ground. These aren't scenes from a science fiction movie. They're real. Designed by some of the world's most brilliant architects and engineers, these incredible structures challenge everything we think we know about balance, weight, and construction. Today, we're counting down 10 gravity-defying structures that look impossible but actually exist. And trust me, the #1 building is so unbelievable, you'll wonder if it's from the future. Let's begin. 10. Museum of Tomorrow, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Standing along Rio de Janeiro's waterfront is a building that looks less like a museum and more like a giant spaceship that has just landed from another planet. The Museum of Tomorrow, designed by renowned Spanish architect Santiago Calatrava, stretches nearly 330 feet into the harbor with giant wing-like structures extending from both sides. At first glance, the building appears too thin and too delicate to support its own weight. But beneath its elegant appearance lies an incredibly strong steel framework capable of distributing thousands of tons of force evenly throughout the structure. The moving solar panels on its roof even rotate throughout the day to capture sunlight, making the building as sustainable as it is futuristic. 9. CCTV Headquarters, Beijing, China. Forget everything you know about skyscrapers. Instead of rising straight into the sky, Beijing's CCTV headquarters forms a gigantic continuous loop. Two leaning towers rise from the ground at impossible angles before connecting with a massive horizontal bridge suspended over 500 feet above the street. From certain viewpoints, it almost appears as if the entire upper section is floating. Constructing this architectural puzzle required engineers to calculate how every beam would respond to earthquakes, wind, and temperature changes. The unusual shape actually distributes stress more efficiently than many traditional skyscrapers. 8. Heydar Aliyev Center, Baku, Azerbaijan. Imagine taking a sheet of white silk, then turning it into a building. That's exactly what the Heydar Aliyev Center looks like. Designed by the legendary architect Zaheida Hadid, there are almost no sharp corners anywhere on the structure. Instead, the walls flow seamlessly into the roof before folding back into the ground in one continuous curve. The building gives the illusion that gravity simply doesn't exist. Its smooth exterior was made possible using thousands of individually shaped steel components covered with custom fiberglass panels. No two sections are exactly alike. 7. Needle Tower, Washington, D.C. If you saw this sculpture from a distance, you might think someone balanced dozens of steel beams on top of one another like a giant game of pickup sticks. Known as Needle Tower, this towering artwork stands over 60 feet tall. Created by artist Kenneth Snelson, it uses an engineering principle called tensegrity. Here's the incredible part. Most of the metal rods never actually touch each other. Instead, they're suspended in perfect balance using hundreds of carefully tensioned steel cables. Compression and tension work together to keep the entire structure standing. It looks impossible, yet it's one of the most elegant demonstrations of engineering ever created. 6. Museum of Rock, Denmark. Perched dramatically at the edge of Roskilde Harbor, Denmark's Museum of Rock appears to erupt straight out of the landscape. Its enormous golden overhanging section extends far beyond its supporting walls, creating the illusion that it could topple over at any moment. The building's sharp, angular design was inspired by the raw energy of rock music itself. Hidden deep inside are massive steel trusses that redirect the weight back into the building's central core. The result? A structure that looks dangerously unstable, but is actually engineered to remain perfectly balanced. 5. Cube Houses, Rotterdam, Netherlands. What if someone took ordinary houses and rotated them 45 degrees? That's exactly what architect Piet Blom did. Each bright yellow cube is tilted dramatically and balanced on a single concrete pillar. From the outside, it looks like every house is about to fall over, but inside, they're fully functional homes, complete with living rooms, kitchens, bedrooms, and bathrooms. Because of the unusual angle, every room has slanted walls, making furniture placement a daily puzzle. Together, they resemble a forest of giant geometric trees. It's one of the strangest neighborhoods on Earth, and people actually live there. 4. Balancing Barn, Suffolk, England. At first glance, this modern countryside home appears completely normal, until you notice half of the house hangs in mid-air. Nearly half of the balancing barn extends beyond the hillside with absolutely nothing supporting the end. The dramatic cantilever stretches over 100 feet, creating one of the most astonishing residential designs ever built. Hidden steel beams inside the structure counterbalance the overhanging section using the weight of the anchored half buried into the landscape. The suspended end even contains bedrooms. 3. Seattle's Central Library. Libraries are usually simple rectangular buildings. Not this one. Seattle's Central Library resembles a giant crystal that has been twisted, folded, and stacked into impossible shapes. Its steel and glass exterior create dramatic overhangs and sloping walls that seem to ignore conventional architecture. Inside, the floors are arranged in an innovative spiral, allowing visitors to browse books without constantly changing levels. More than 10,000 tons of steel support the building while remaining almost invisible to visitors. 2. Montreal Tower. Standing beside Montreal Olympic Stadium is the tallest inclined tower in the world. Unlike normal skyscrapers, this tower leans dramatically at a 45-degree angle. Reaching over 540 feet into the sky, it appears as though gravity is slowly pulling it sideways. Constructing such an extreme angle required enormous pre-stressed concrete sections capable of resisting tremendous sideways forces. Despite looking unstable, it's one of the strongest concrete towers ever built. Visitors can even ride a glass elevator along its sloping side for breathtaking panoramic views. It's one of the rare buildings where the climb feels almost horizontal. 1. One Central Park, Sydney, Australia. Imagine an entire forest hanging hundreds of feet above the ground. Welcome to One Central Park. This award-winning skyscraper is covered with over 35,000 plants, flowers, and vines growing vertically along its exterior. But that's only the beginning. One side of the building features a gigantic cantilevered platform extending far into open space. Attached beneath it is a massive mirrored heliostat that reflects sunlight down into the gardens below. From a distance, the platform appears to float effortlessly in the air. The combination of architecture, engineering, and nature creates one of the most breathtaking buildings ever constructed. It's not just gravity-defying, it feels like the future of city living. So, which of these gravity-defying structures amazed you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more incredible countdowns from around the world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.